What is even a studio vlog anyway? I don't have a studio. I'm in my bedroom. It's not really a studio, it's really just a desk and a computer in the other, where I have my computer. This video is just gonna be me talking. I have a lot of old footage of me painting and drawing, but I will share those another day because I feel like I'm just gonna share some thoughts. Yeah, that's basically it. Hello YouTube. Don't mind my little pimple stickers that might glisten in the light. Hi. I've been gone for many months. Where did I leave off? I should really write notes before I start these things. Okay, so now that I've written down some notes, hi. I was gone for quite a while. From what I remember where I left off, I had just finished Plein Air April. Today is April 30th, the last freaking day of Plein Air April, and I'm so happy that it's over. April. And I was recording the final painting and talking about how I felt so accomplished with finishing Plein Air April, which I have old footage of that never before seen, and here I am just like retelling it. And then shortly after Plein Air April, as we got into the beginning of May, I had planned to be really productive and have this really unrealistic schedule for myself, and just try to work on my portfolio and like have like this whole thing where I would record myself talking about working on my portfolio basically, which never happened because I got really sick in May. Like, thankfully it was not COVID-19, like I can tell you that for sure. Turns out I had an infection in my body that was not cool, and I was on antibiotics for a day actually. So they gave me 2 tablets of azithromycin, and if you guys aren't familiar with azithromycin, it is a pretty strong antibiotic that is most commonly prescribed for people with whatever infection that they have. So they gave me like a bunch of milligrams, I think 500 milligram tablets, and I had to take both of them at once. So I took 1,000 milligrams of azithromycin in one sitting, and I was just like, alright, cool, whatever, just take it once and then like my infection will go away. Boy, was I wrong. I had some serious side effects to azithromycin that wasn't life-threatening, but for me, as a non-sick person usually, but a very sensitive person, how do I describe this? Like literally, like maybe an hour after taking the antibiotic, or maybe even 30 minutes, I took the medicine, I was playing League of Legends with my friends, and all of a sudden, I don't feel so good. My stomach was making the weirdest bubbly sounds, like things were boiling in my body, and I felt so nauseous and gross that I thought I was gonna die. I was like, oh, is this what ODing feels like? No, it's just what azithromycin feels like. Thankfully, your girl didn't throw up or have the diarrhea, But I definitely had some digestive problems for 2 weeks, and I was already like maybe a week into May, so 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks of May was just like trying to get over my symptoms and feel normal again, so it totally derailed my entire like productivity to try to keep doing this YouTube thing while also trying to do my portfolio. So for a whole month, I was just being sick and gross and depressed and super unmotivated to do absolutely anything. And I felt bad because like I had all of these things like made and plans that I wanted to do for like Etsy and all that stuff. And I had all these videos recorded, but I just didn't have the strength or energy to actually edit and post and like do anything for that matter because my body was just so anyway. So May flashes by my face really quickly and really slowly at the same time, and what is it now, June 15th that I'm recording this video. God knows when I'll upload this, but I'm gonna like make it a goal to upload it quickly. It's a month and a half basically. So where was I in June? June, just trying to still get back into the grind of being productive, but also I just celebrated a birthday. It was my 26th birthday on June 4th. Yay. 26 feels really gross, not gonna lie, because as soon as I turned 26, not even kidding you, I ate a piece of cake for dessert on the day of my birthday, and all of a sudden I had this lump in my throat that I thought was a piece of cake stuck in my throat. Try to wash it down with like tea and beer and water and just like chugging stuff because I was like, I have a piece of cake lodged in my throat and it's not going away. Turns out it was not a piece of cake. I had globulus pharyngeus. That's how I read it every time I look at the word. I'm just type it out here on the screen. But this globular feeling in my throat, and I still have it like to this day, like ever since my birthday. And it comes and goes. It gets really bad sometimes, and I'm like literally gagging and choking like at my own seat, like on nothing. And then it'll just disappear. Like it's gone when I'm eating, but then it comes back after I eat. It goes away in the morning when I wake up. Sometimes it's really bad before I go to sleep. So I'm thinking maybe some type of GERD, gastrointestinal problem, or a digestive problem that might be linked to the azithromycin that really destroyed my stomach. If you guys haven't been following the news, which I would be surprised if you haven't been following the news, like, gotta be living under a rock if you don't know what's been going on, but there is a giant historical civil rights movement happening right now in the United States of America, and Los Angeles is definitely a city in which it was covered very heavily by the news, and also just the huge groups of protesters and demonstrations that were happening all across Southern California. It was pretty incredible, but also heartbreaking that so many innocent lives have been taken. I share a birthday weekend with Breonna Taylor. She's only 1 year older than me, and celebrating my birthday during this time didn't feel fair because I get to have a birthday this year, but Breonna Taylor did it. And so, you know, all this protesting and demonstration is so important because these people deserve justice, because it's just a human right. Like, oh, not to get super emotional, Yes, so I just celebrated a birthday. It was pretty fun. And I got this camera because I've actually been noodling around for years since early college to invest in a camera for myself as an artist. But anyway, these are really historic times, and I didn't want to be insensitive by posting like my lighthearted videos about myself doing random shit, drawing, working on my portfolio, making art, selling like things on Etsy, like promoting myself as an artist, especially during a time where Black voices should be amplified and promoted through all social media platforms of people who have the privilege to voice and all that stuff. I don't really have a big following, and not that my platform isn't like one to like be really loud. I'm also learning. Like, I don't feel like I'm in a place to educate and teach people when I don't really know a lot myself. And I feel like as someone who's worked as a admissions ambassador for a school, if I don't know something but I know where people can find a resource, like that's my job as an ambassador for a campus, right? So in the same way, I really want to take this time to kind of be aware of where I am in the world, like sit down and listen because it's not my place to speak, and just help direct people to proper resources. So what I want to do personally for myself is revisit some books that I read while I was in early college. I actually took a lot of sociology, racial study classes while I was in community college. I actually got a humanities degree because I've taken so many of these classes. Not because I was pursuing it, but just because I had like a genuine interest in wanting to learn more about this stuff. So some of the books that I'm going to read for myself that I have are The New Jim Crow, and kind of gloss through this textbook here, Racial Domination and Racial Progress. These two books, it really opened my eyes to a lot of the privileges that I have, and also the disadvantages of especially the Black community. It was a really eye-opener, this book, and I remember these two books being the most informational and insightful, and changed me as a individual and as a student of humanities and sociology. And yeah, so if you are also interested, I mean, this is really like a textbook. I mean, I'm not about to be like, hey y'all, go buy a textbook. There's a wealth of information in here that I thought was really informational, for lack of a better word, and especially this book. I also have some books on poverty, and it does touch a little bit about race. I think particularly in chapter 7, but that's because I marked chapter 7. But I'm not here to like shove these books down your throat, but I think it's really important to not only listen, but to also go out of your way to research these things, to better enrich yourself, be more anti-racist, Black Lives Matter, all that good stuff. While I don't post a lot on social media, my opinions, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm being willfully ignorant to this. I don't post on social media. Like, I don't know why I feel like I have to have this disclaimer. Like, I just want to listen and learn. But I definitely felt a lot of pressure from my peers and friends that post and are very vocal about these issues right now on social media. And I don't want to just blindly take everything for face value and then just regurgitate it onto my social media platforms. Not because I don't believe or agree with what they're saying. It's mostly because I don't want to misdirect anybody that might be looking for true actual resources. Like, for example, there were like these tag posts going around, like tag people that won't break the chain, like hashtag Black Lives Matter, or like the whole Blackout Tuesday, and there was this whole miscommunication with don't hashtag Black Lives Matter because you're gonna black out all of the trending posts. And like, it's those things that I feel like will take for face value and then just keep spreading like misinformation, or in this case blocking out important information. So I don't want to facilitate something that's hurting the community. I want to help direct people in the right direction, posting links to organizations and trustworthy sites and donation links that people can access. And as an ally, I want to amplify the voices that are experiencing this firsthand, and also the organizations that have dedicated their lives to this movement. So I don't feel it is my place to speak on behalf of a group that has an experience that I will never have, and I can only speak for myself. I can't speak on behalf of anybody, just Megan. Yes, on that note, I do want to take a moment to highlight an artist and a skater that I've been admiring for about a year now, ever since I started roller skating. I came across this skater on Instagram. Her name is Tatiana Hill, and she has 2 Instagrams. Her skating page, which is under the handle Twisty, and her art Instagram page, which is under Tati Animation. And I was actually really excited when I saw that she was an alumni from CSUN, even though I never went to CSUN. But the fact that I live next to CSUN, it's just always so fun and exciting to like meet people that are like going to school in my hometown, because I went to school in Pasadena, and so everyone that I met there, they always ask like, oh, so where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from Northridge. They're like, where the f*** is Northridge? Excuse my language. Like, it's west of Burbank. That's like the best like description I can give somebody. So when I learned that she was someone local from the valley, or local as far as her alumni status, I was just really excited to like meet an artist that also knows about Northridge. Like, that's so cool. So she had this Kickstarter that she announced, I think, early this year, for her tarot cards, and I was blown away with the quality of these tarot cards, and I absolutely love her art style. It is so cute, flat and graphic, which I love. And I just want to take a moment to share this with you because, first of all, this is a really cute card design, and the amount of work, like, as a fellow animation major, the amount of work that went into all of these cards. She did an entire deck of tarot cards. Like, I'm not even properly showing this to you. Like, look at that. Like, holy crap. That is so much detail. Like, and the quality and level of detail for every single card is just like mind-blowing. Like, as soon as I opened this deck of cards, or as soon as she announced this Kickstarter, like, I backed it like right away, because I'm just like, this is so cool. I want to see, like, I love roller skating and I love animation, so hello. I don't know a lot about tarot cards, but just having a deck of art, basically, like a deck of prints, like, I don't know how much more I could ask for. Like, this is amazing. Like, I want to support that. Where was I going with this thought? Yeah, as soon as I opened the deck of cards, I was blown away at how much work went into this. Like, I don't think people, especially, like, just not to be like, I'm an artist, but I feel like a lot of people gloss over the fact that she had to draw every single one of these cards. There are like what feels like more than 100. I didn't actually count, but she had to draw every single one of these cards like at this level of detail, like, and it's in full color, and like so much representation of all different kinds of like skin colors and body shapes, and just like design and love. Like, this is something like I would aspire to be, like, as a fellow artist, like, to create inclusive art like this, and especially about something that I love, which is skating. So she doesn't know who I am. I'm like a nobody to her. Like, she's beyond me. Like, but I know who she is, at least via Instagram, and all I can say is thank you for making these cards, because they're absolutely beautiful and I can't stop looking at them, and they're like, it's like a precious deck to me of just art, because I don't know anything about tarot cards. Honestly, I just know about Cardcaptor Sakura, and I thought that was cool, and the idea of tarot cards, and it's just pretty. Like, I don't know what else to say. This one's probably my favorite. I love this one. But yeah, if you don't already follow her, she is on Instagram under 2 handles, Twisty and Tati Animation. And if you like skating and art, I would just go and follow both, because I know I do. Now that I'm here, to end this video, just be kind, listen, and learn and unlearn, and also be nice to yourself, and don't swallow yourself up in guilt for not knowing. Just be nice. Anyway, I guess that's all the brain dump I got for tonight. But yeah, thank you for listening to my thoughts. Bye.